Silver Ring Thing event, which is an event in which the youth between the ages of 12 to 18 gets together to pledge that they'll remain virgins until marriage. The notion of virginity has been accepted in civilized society since we can think back to. But in reality, the term virginity has no set definition, and that's because the concept of virginity allows for each and every one of us to create our own meaning for what being a virgin is. I don't identify as a virgin, and for a long time I thought that made me a slut, but I'm not a slut, and I'm very glad that I don't feel that way anymore. And I feel that if we continue to feed into our sex-crazed society's obsession with the loss of virginity, we will not only continue to hurt ourselves, but our peers as well. I will first be talking about how idolizing the idea of virginity is hurting us as a society. Then I will elaborate on the myth of purity, and lastly I will talk about how constant and free sex education for the youth is important. So let's begin with how idolizing the idea of virginity is harming us. Virginity is basically everything to us. It affects us on a social standpoint and a personal standpoint, and that's because it has evolved to correlate with social norms. You know, women are expected to wait until marriage to have sex or to have a low partner count, while men are expected to chase around every woman they see. But what we don't realize is that these social norms are hurting us in the sense that women in particular experience low self-esteem and low self-image, as well as questioning their self-worth. According Alex Morris, a journalist for the New York Magazine, stated that given the cultural assumptions about male sex and relative ease of access to partners, inexperience can imply lack of virility and desire, proving that male virgins also suffer from this pressure to comply with sexual social norms. The idea of virginity also suggests that women are no more than their sexual inhibitions. We tend to place women in two categories, the virgin and the non-virgin, and by doing this, we're ripping women apart piece by piece. David Berger and Gordon Wegner of the Journal and Marriage of the Family stated that the most favorable female strategy in a situation where men control the economic world is to maximize her power by appearing as attractive and as inaccessible as possible. We're placing too much importance on sexuality in regards to women. So, and by doing that, we're avoiding seeing, other more important qualities that women have, like their personality, their professional abilities, personal goals, which are things that are actually important. Now that I've discussed the problems with sexuality in our society, I will talk about how the role of purity is pressuring the youth to either have sex or to not have sex. The American film industry plays a gigantic role in influencing the youth to have sex. Movies like The 40-Year-Old Virgin, where the plot is solely based on this one man, losing his virginity and his friends encouraging him to do so by any means necessary, and other films like American Pie, Superbad, and Can't Hardly Wait, while extremely entertaining, are providing the youth with this idea that losing your virginity is more than just a sexual experience. These characters depict worlds in which sex is seen in not the traditional sense, but in the sense that, marriage and purity is no longer important. What's important is getting rid of your virginity, as if it were, some kind of omen. And then purity plays a role in sex guilt that people feel. In an interview with the Huffington Post, author of the book The Purity Myth, How America's Obsession with Virginity is Hurting Young Women, Jessica Valenti states that the purity myth is the lie that virginity or sexual abstinence is the bearing of who we are as people, as good people, women in particular. And that's referring to, people feeling bad for having sex, even though it's something that's, natural to us. And yeah, people believe that if they comply with this ideology, that they're somehow going to be protected from, you know, social attacks. Like, okay. So now that I've talked about the meaning of virginity in our society and the role that purity plays in pressuring youth, here are 2 ways we can break the restricting chains of virginity. Laura M. Carpenter of the Journal of Sex Research stated that societal concerns about sexuality crystallize around the loss of virginity because it's perceived as one of the most significant turning points in, you know, someone's sexual life. And while I do feel that your first sexual experience is important, I also feel that we are obligated to ensure that the youth understands this. Science.org stated that $1.5 billion taxpayer dollars during the Obama administration was put into. So according to Science.com, the Obama administration spent nearly $190 million on sex education programs in schools. And although this is great, I don't think that it's enough. I think that we